Is HEX a security? Well, we're about to find out. I want to play a clip from from Discourse Syndicate talking about this, and I want to give my comments also. Let's play the clip. Try to play it.
We are going after a full-on declarative statement from the SEC that HEX is not a security. He believes we can get it. We've got all the legal opinion letters. It fails all 4 legs of the Howey test. Remember, it only has to fail 1 leg of the Howey test. Fails all 4. Doesn't pass the family likeness test, which is also also known as the Reeves test. And then there's some state-specific tests that it doesn't fall under. It even matches the Heinemann standard, in which gave Ethereum a pass for not.
For what it's worth, I'm not convinced it passes the Heinemann test, which has to do with decentralization. Be awesome if it does. I'm not a legal expert. Just my opinion. Let's keep going.
Not being a security, especially now that it's so decentralized. So we've got a lot of really strong legal ground on this, and that's part of the reason I started streaming in the first place about HEX, because I was confident that this was not a security. Now yes. I've got multiple SEC attorneys saying the same thing, not just the opinion letter that was paid for and provided by Richard Hart himself.
Anyway, guys, this is awesome. This is cool stuff. I love so many aspects of this. I love the proactivity of Hexicans coming together again to fund this. We are actually going to the SEC. Yes, the SEC did send some letters out, but we are actually going to the SEC for a declarative statement. Is HEX a security? There's apparently legal counsel that is convinced that HEX is not a security. I think when it comes to the Howey test myself, it does appear to pass, but there is value in actually having the authority on the issue, in my opinion, clarify if HEX is a security. I think this is good for us in the ecosystem itself. Now we don't have to worry about the SEC coming in at any time to do something. We can actually have our own, from them, legal clarification on this issue. And I love the fact that, like I said, in a bear market, so much is happening around the Richard Hart ecosystem. Tokens are being created, which the underlying assumption on those tokens is that HEX has value. It's drawing people in for a diverse range of reasons. And here we are again in a bear market coming together to, this time, clarify things with the SEC. I have not seen this happen a lot. I have not seen communities for tokens or whatever go to the SEC to ask for clarity. From my experience, for the most part, it's been the SEC coming after tokens. It's been a reactive stance, and here we are being proactive. I love that. I love the leadership from those people that are actually seeking out legal counsel on this issue, putting together a donation address, because this can be very expensive. I think the expense is going to relate to the time that this takes. Also, like, the more hours we use of legal counsel, the more the money's going to really add up. This can be very expensive. I think they're just throwing numbers out, but he said between $500,000 to $1 million, and we'll see what it ends up being. But last I checked, the donation address, which I will link below, had a little over $4,000 in it. That's awesome. And if you can't donate, don't worry about it. What you can do is share. If you go to my Twitter, I'll put a link to my Twitter below. You can share, one of the posts that I've made on this issue. You can make your own post, share the donation address, get people aware that this is happening. I think this is also cool because there's not been that much legal precedent on cryptocurrency. There has been some, but I think HEX has a chance of being a part of the SEC's history when dealing with tokens. And I think the process itself is going to be watched by other cryptocurrencies, other tokens, other blockchains. And I expect that there's going to be some attention to HEX from this during the process, but also after, as people are going to, depending on what the SEC does, what problems or green check marks they give, other people are going to be looking to this for their own tokens. And I think we have a chance to help clarify some things just by us doing this and get some attention from it as well. So for the most part, to me, this whole thing is positive. Let's just get a known. Let's make this SEC a known. Who knows for sure what problems the SEC may find? It looks like they don't have a lot to stand on. I can look to things like EOS, some other tokens that have gone through the SEC. EOS was fined, I believe, $24 million for an unregistered ICO. I don't believe that would apply to HEX, but just as a reference, and I believe it took about a year for that process, the EOS process, to go through the SEC. And then also Ripple is another example where I believe they've been going with the SEC for almost 2 years. And so this can take some time. I think, depending on how easy the SEC and how good and bulletproof our case is, I think it may take some time. But I love this. I want to use my platform to draw attention to this. I think this is good for our community. This is good for so many reasons. This is potentially good for crypto, just to have some more clarification on this issue. I think if HEX does have problems, then a lot of other tokens will have probably going to have problems too. And it's good for all of us to get this more clarified. And like I said, I love the proactive nature of this, and this just speaks to the Hexican community in a bear market trying to make this happen. This is good stuff. Anyway, guys, I wanted to share this with you, give some of my quick thoughts. Thank you for watching. Talk to you in the next one.